We're like 5 miles in. We're like climbing the first mountain, and Fiji rolls his ankle on the way down. And I see this guy hobbling.
Status quo.
And all right, and welcome back to The Price for Paradise. My name's Woody, aka Creston Woods, and with me today we brought back an old friend.
My name's Fiji. Imran Kahn. My nickname's Fiji. Everybody knows me by that. But yeah, excited to be back, dude. I saw we did that last podcast like 3 years ago. So
3 years? Has it been that long?
that was the first one, anyways. We did a couple short stuff talking about carnivore and a couple of challenges you and I did.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, Fiji's my adventure buddy, race guy. We signed up for a 50K in 2 weeks, and we did a marathon that was a trail run, mountain climb thing, Mogollon Monster, earlier in the year. And we'll definitely talk about that, story here today. And but Fiji, tell us a little bit about who you are.
Been a firefighter for 8 years now. 8 years in January. So originally born in Bellingham, Washington. Grew up kind of in a small farm town up there. I have 3 older sisters, so the youngest and the only boy. So I always looked out to my community and my friends to kind of give me that brotherly love that I was looking for. And talk people into doing crazy stuff with me, like we do.
Yeah.
So, I fought wildfire for 3 years after I got out of high school, and then got into the fire department, and I love it. It's my second home. I'm there a third of my life. So, but it gives me brothers and sisters, and we get to help people, and then you get a bunch of people that want to do crazy stuff with you, and we push ourselves, challenge ourselves, and just try to be better together. So
I love hanging out with the firefighters. They're so much fun. And and we met through another one of our friends, Alec. He was on the podcast a while back, and then we all went to the same gym. And then we just kind of hit it off, and I like doing all this crazy stuff. And so what did we do this year? We did the Mogollon Monster first. So let's talk a little bit about that, the race story. So what was the Mogollon Monster, and where was it?
Okay, so the Mogollon Monster is in Pine, Arizona, so just outside of Payson. 42K trail, almost 5,000 feet of elevation gain. I was inspired. So they have a 42K, and then they have 100 miles, which
We did not sign up for the 100
No
miles,
way,
guys. We were
dude.
not there yet.
So first race for me ever. Was it first trail race for you? Or
First
have you
trail
done-
race for me,
okay.
yeah. So I've done a couple Ironmans and a couple marathons,
Yeah.
but this was a different beast of a marathon because I didn't realize the incline was going to be like the 5,000 in my head didn't seem like it was until we got on the race, and it was just like 2 1-hour mountain climbs like in the beginning of the race. So it was a hike,
Yeah.
and I was a lot different, but I actually think it was my favorite of all the races that were marathon based because of the trail and like just being in nature, and it just felt like you were out there, and it was fun.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, I mean, wanted to do that. One of my buddies challenged me. He actually wanted me to do the 100 miles with him. I'm like, there's no way. A second buddy is about to have a kid. He asked me to do it with him kind of last hurrah before he has his kid. I signed up for it. He ended up not being able to make it. I texted you, let you know that we were going to do it. So luckily I had you.
Signed up.
And yeah, really, I was like, I've been on a new life journey, and I was like, this is a good way to challenge myself, push myself. I love nature. First time we went camping together, but I go camping all the time. So man, it was just a good experience. Try to figure out if we could do something.
So start of the race, night before, we're camping in the middle of the wild, and Fiji's like, oh yeah, let's do something a little crazy. And so he pulls out these like IV bags, and we're like, oh, okay, cool. Let's do some like some IVs before the race. They'll hydrate us up, right? And so Fiji's like a pro. This is like his job, so he does this stuff all the time. And so we did some IV bags, got hydrated, and that was very helpful, I'm sure, for the race, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, but driving up there and then kind of getting ready, I think first race jitters for me. I tried to hydrate as much as I could, but yeah, I was nervous about being able to make it through that race. So I was like,
how much training did you do prior to?
3 months worth of trying to just run as much as possible because I haven't ran, especially training for like endurance like that. And so, I mean, I would say probably 8 years since before I became a firefighter. And I had no idea how to fuel my body.
Yeah, train for the race and feel the body. Because like once you get over in a race that's over 2 hours long, like you have to eat along the way. You have to like make sure you have the right electrolytes, and you have to keep drinking water and hit these aid stations just right, or else you will start cramping up like we did at the end.
Oh,
and so yeah, and then there was like some ups and downs during the race as
rolled
well.
Ankles, maybe some.
We're like 5 miles in. We're like climbing the first mountain, and Fiji rolls his ankle on the way down, and I see this guy hobbling.
Status quo.
And I'm like Fiji, I want to keep running down the mountain, so I'm just gonna keep going. I'll catch you down there at the bottom. And this is one of the first races I actually did with somebody, like the whole time. And so that was really, really cool, like to have a buddy along the way the whole time. But I thought I lost him for a little bit, and so I'm like maybe a mile down the trail, and I start walking to eat snacks, and I gave Fiji some time to catch up because I was like, he's either gonna come back or he's going back to the aid station. And I had almost given up on him because I was like, I don't know, I got to start running again. Like I also will cramp up if I don't like keep going, and I'll be wasting too much time. And then all of a sudden, clomp, 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 this guy just pops up and he's back, and he's like, yeah, like, I'm always hurt. So this is like, normal for me.
Now I can actually settle in now,
Yeah, I got the jitters
like,
out of you.
Got some pain. I don't know. I think of that Major Pain movie where he's like, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but he's like, you got shot. Let me see your finger. He breaks the dude's pinky finger. And he's like, stomach doesn't hurt anymore, does it?
Yeah, right.
So, that's how I felt. Because, dude, at the top of that climb, my quads, I've never felt that much pain.
Yeah,
in a muscle.
It was starting to cramp. You got to eat more, and it's like, dude, you're running out of water in those muscles, right? So if you don't have enough carbs, carbs are essential on a race, guys. If you don't like eat them, then your body doesn't hold water, and then those muscles just cramp up on you, and you can feel that.
I didn't know I could run out of sugar that fast.
Fiji brought some fuel for both of us. And I laughed at him because I was like, dude, that's all your fuel because you're gonna need all of that. I brought some for me too, and I gave him some honey along the way as well, because like honestly, you need so much more than you think. We're burning 10,000 calories. Like we're burning so much, and you need to eat every half hour. You need to eat like, especially when you have to climb a mountain, we burn so much more sugar climbing than anything, right? Like if it was a flat marathon, we would have been a little bit fine for a lot longer. But yeah, it was a cool eye opener for Fiji on like how much you had to eat on it.
Yeah. Well, and I would say anybody doing any races, especially trail though, like go check out where you're going to race, because it's like, I've been in Pine, whatever, but I was not ready for 5,000 feet now.
Yeah. And not to mention, like we started at like what, 3,000 or 4,000, right?
Yeah.
And then we climbed up 5,000, which would have been like, now we're at like 7,000 something. Or like 8,000. What was it? 7,000 at the top?
Oh yeah, we got up to
75.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8. Yeah. Okay. So we're now at elevation, and it's like, oh, you can feel your breath like just getting taken out of you because it's so much lighter up there. And then you get down at the bottom, and you're like, oh, I can breathe again. And then you climb right back up. It was like a big U shape.
Yeah.
And so that was a wild ride. And then we kind of just like did a run, walk, and we would just like, push ourselves as hard as we could, and then we'd cramp up and we'd start eating and walking again. And
we're literally going as hard as we could go without cramping.
Yeah.
Still cramping.
And I think in hindsight, we would have probably done a little bit more hike training and a little bit more preparation on the incline stuff, because we did a lot of running.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to be gradual inclines. No, it was all at once, twice.
Yeah. But, man, one of the best experiences. I think I'd love to do something like that again.
We are doing something like that again in like 2 weeks, bud.
Yeah. That one I'm not as scared for.
Yeah, no, now you know.
Yeah.
And it's not as much, it's also not as much incline. It's also like 5 more miles.
Yeah. But like half the incline.
It balances out.
And we're down here, we're a little home court advantage a little bit.
Yeah, and I wanted to do this race with Fiji because he told me about it, and I was like, was thinking about it. It's an ultra marathon over 30 miles. And I was like, I turned 30 that week. So I was like, 30 for 30. I got to do an ultra marathon for my 30th birthday. And like other people, they, get hammered and go party. This is my kind of fun. And so this is what we're doing for my birthday. And I actually got my friend Hannah to sign up too. So yeah, she's going to be out there. We're going to go run it this weekend and practice before the race.
She's going to do the 50K?
Yeah, she ran a 50 miler earlier in the year, so she's kind of a badass and she can keep up, but she has not been training as hard for this one as the 50 miler. But I think that groundwork is going to definitely help a lot because she already did that not too long ago. So that is it's going to help her out, but we'll see how she does.
Yeah, it'll be good.
I'll test her this weekend and see where she's really at. So yeah, but going into you also have another race this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Fiji as a preparation for this next trail race, he's doing the Spartan Beast.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like a half marathon with obstacles and he's going to be climbing ropes and how have you been preparing for that?
Really just the running, some functional workouts. To be honest, have not been. So some guys at work are getting ready for the High Rocks, so they're doing some of those High Rocks workouts. So I've done a few of those. They're not my favorite, so I sprained my ankle again playing flag football after that Mogollon, so have been a little bit on and off my feet. So we've been running a lot of trail running, hoping to just go in there and kill that beast with some cardio. But again, guys, some good friends of mine are just like, hey, we're doing this November 22nd. Do you want to get after it? And I'm like, I don't know. And then there's a little part of me that's like,
I got to do it now.
Why not?
They challenged me
All
and
right.
I'm in.
Yeah. And same like you. I turned 30 in January next year. So let's just knock some stuff out.
We're about to go into our primes. We have to, see what we got left out of our 20s. We got to squeeze out the rest.
Yeah.
I like it. I like
Christmas present to myself. We'll see.
Yeah. And then what are we going to do going into the 50K, like preparation wise, like on like fueling and different things that you're taking from this past race?
Mm-hmm.
Like what are you thinking about on that end?
Well, I think one, I need probably a bigger breakfast. Which I've been now training with the breakfast I'm probably going to eat.
That was,
morning.
guys. Okay. So practicing your fueling in training is so much more key than you think. Cause like, you can't just start digesting food like on a whim, like, game day and you start like eating at 2 hours in. It doesn't digest very good. So you have to I've been like eating granola bars with my runs, like just right at the gate so that I can practice eating and fueling at the same time and running. I mean, at the same time.
I'm going to switch up my fuel too. I don't know if you remember, I'm sure you do remember, obviously. Remember how much we got sick of sweet? Like halfway through, it was
so
like
much sweet.
at 4 hour mark, we're like,
dude, I
don't
can't
want
stomach
any
another
more
goo or
sugar.
sugar.
So I'm like, maybe I got to find some stuff that's got some good salt in it. I think I'm going to take some element powders with me, just on top of my regular fuel, just because I love how salty that is. And I think that'll
balance out the carbs.
Yeah, hopefully give us a little boost.
Definitely. And I love just like the bottle of honey and sweet tarts. Guys, if you're on a race, like it's like rocket fuel to have like sweets and all these things. You're going to burn right through it. So like, and you actually need stuff that digests fast, right? So when you're sitting at a desk at work, you probably don't need something that's going to spike your blood sugar and do all these things all day. But like on race day, it's rocket fuel, right? And so only during that like running is like when you should be doing that kind of junk food, which is cool.
About all of this is learning what your body needs to function, especially at like such a high level. When you're pushing your body to the limits, it's also funny the garbage you're putting into it.
Yeah, no, for real. But it's just because it's like the rapid absorption, right? And so like and everyone's lifestyles are so different. But like I feel like after baseball, I never found that edge, that competitive like thing. And then like going into these races where you literally, if you don't hit the nutrition right or you don't do the training, you fail. And like I had failed multiple races in the past, and they were the biggest eye openers and the best lessons for these other races. And all the motivation comes from the failures. Like when you finish something, you get a little cocky and you're like, "Oh man, I'm the man. I could do this. I can, wing anything, and then all of a sudden you try to wing the next one, you fail. And so
Yeah.
I've definitely
Let's
learned a
hope that
lot
doesn't
like
happen.
over time. Yeah. No, you're gonna be fine. He's speaking of the high rocks training, I do have a high rocks club, guys. 5:30 a.m. Tuesday, Thursdays at Elevate. If you guys want to come try it out, it is we're me and my friend Lexi. We signed up in the mixed doubles, and so we're gonna be doing high rocks in January. So see all you guys out there, because I know like half of Arizona signed up, and so
Dude, that's gonna be so awesome.
yeah, it's gonna be fun. Are you
There's
gonna
something
actually do
about
the high
those-
rocks, or are you gonna? No. Okay, so you're
No.
just doing the training for it.
Yeah, it's too close to everything else, and I kind of feel like I want to take a break after that 50K.
Yeah.
But maybe at some point. To be honest, I don't love the hit workouts. We did those so much in just training to get this job, and then now in the job, we do them a lot, which they're great, especially for what we do. But to me, they're no longer fun. I don't enjoy them as much
Yeah.
as I enjoy these other things. So
I love the steady state trail runs, dude.
yeah,
They're so much fun. And it's like in nature, you still get this like variability. It's not
Mhm.
necessarily just pounding the pavement all the time.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I'm sure you practice on pavement, and then
Yeah.
you practice on trails, and you're like, yeah.
dude, I didn't realize that I didn't know how to run. So I had to like change my gait. Had to figure out,
Did you go through that gait assessment?
I did.
Oh,
well.
Tell us about it. Fiji went to like a legit scientific gait assessment and then got us all checked out. So what happened?
Yeah, so Human Powered Health, they're out in Scottsdale. Two people over there, Alexa and Carson, both super knowledgeable. They're specialized in exercise physiology. But yeah, get me on a treadmill. They have I don't know the extent. You have to look on their website, Human Powered Health. They have all the science that they use, but get you on a treadmill. They went through 4 or 5 different intervals for me as far as speeds, and analyze my gait at each of those speeds, and tell me what I need to fix, and gave me exercises for me. I have, I don't typically warm up before I run. Now during race day, it was funny.
So funny. I just talked
funny.
to TJ, and we were just talking about the importance of warming up and
Yes.
getting ready and priming.
Dude,
So
did
this
we
is perfect.
didn't warm up though.
Well, when you
Yeah, I know.
do a long one like that, like you're gonna warm up in the first mile or two.
Yeah, that's
So
what I
like,
said.
yeah, we
So-
did a little stretching. Come on.
So basically, I don't have great glute activation when I start. So my slower runs are very like kind of lazy. But when I'm sprinting, I have actually pretty good form.
Because you're just engaging everything, because
Yeah.
you have to like produce power, right? So now you're pushing really hard through your glutes,
Right.
and so that activation, that nervous system activation, is really gonna help, right?
Yeah. So when I'm running 8:30 mile or faster than that, I have a good gait. So I just had to learn to be more intentional when I run, and think about just a few different things.
Couple primers before we go out there and stuff like that.
Like we talked about making sure that you were thinking about the ground being hot to help increase your cadence to prevent overstriding.
And
So-
not landing so hard and like
Yeah.
pounding it.
Which you brought it up. You're like,
I was
you
like,
could
dude,
hear me coming.
Clomp,
so-
clomp, clomp. This guy was pounding the ground, and so I definitely could hear it.
Yeah, I've had that for a while, dude. I think that just comes from basketball. I've grew up in flat-footed feet.
Yeah, and you're
used
like,
to
pounding,
Yeah.
stepping, driving, doing
yeah.
different stuff.
We never
yeah.
talked about form when it came to running in high school.
You know, it is one of those cool things that like the more you do it, the better your form gets naturally, because it's just a repetitive movement pattern, and that pattern gets grooved over time, right? But you can make tremendous switches if you just have someone that's like elite that does like an analysis for your gait and like can give you those fixes and looks at you from the outside. That's why hiring a coach is awesome.
Yeah.
It's very, very helpful, and you can just make tremendous strides instead of you trying to figure it out on your own along the way, which you can.
Yeah.
But it's just a lot longer of a process to do it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm avid YouTube user, so anything I don't know about, I kind of will look it up there. But anyways, using whatever knowledge I gained from there, I basically got told I have a good fundamental base, and they helped me fix some things, dude. They were awesome. Spent like 2 hours with me. And they're not like someone that's like, okay, yeah, we need you to come back once a week for X, Y, and Z. They gave me a great assessment, gave me a bunch of notes. I got the videos of me running so I can look at it and see what they're talking about. And then they went through everything, all the fixes, and they're like, hey, come back in 3-6 months.
That's awesome.
If you feel like you have made improvements or you didn't, we can make sure. But
Okay.
they do sweat hydration analysis over there.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, they do DEXA scans. They do
We should do that.
a lactate threshold test, which I think I might go back there for.
No, we should do the sweat analysis because
Yeah.
that would help us for like, so when you guys are running and like when we have our packs full of like hydration mixes, like what you sweat out is what you need to replace. And so like knowing what like sodium you sweat out, like how much potassium and magnesium you sweat out, ratio is usually like the optimal ratio is like what they put in an element. That's why element is at that 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and then like 50 milligrams of magnesium, is because you sweat out in that ratio. But like everyone's a little bit different, right? So
Right.
it's super variable depending on like your diet, your lifestyle, like I mean how much training you've done, and that would be a really good thing for us.
Because right now, dude, I'm just guessing when it comes to training runs. But yeah, I got that done. That was awesome. Yeah, all of this running race has just been a journey of really learning about myself. I think that's what intrigues me more about these challenges versus like a high rocks is I think there's a good competitive nature of high rocks that for sure you're chasing, and I think that that's awesome. I don't care about being better than anybody else in this phase of my life, and I'm trying to just learn about what makes me feel good and
Compete
running
with yourself.
Yeah. And dude, when you have to like do a 50K and you might die out there, like
You got to dig deep.
dude, I'm like, I cannot drink any more beers today, right?
Yeah.
Like, or it's gonna hurt in 2-3 weeks.
Dude, that is the initial reason for signing up a lot of times for me was it makes me a better person. Like all throughout all the training, like I get dialed on my training. I get dialed on my nutrition. I eat more, I eat better. I do all the things that I probably should be doing for my health anyways.
Yeah.
But now because I have this goal in mind, I just nail it. And like I know when I'm not signed up for a race that I can get lazy with it. I can, kind of fall off the wagon when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Well, you can change the date, right? You can say, oh, I want to do this. I want to get to this strength level, or I want to do this challenge for myself at this time. But when it's just you making that goal, like you can change it, you can adjust it. Maybe you got the flu for a week. Like these races, when you sign up for them, you pay for them. Like they don't care. Yeah, they got your money. So
and dude, it's such a weird thing, but as soon as I pay for it, like I start training so much better. Yeah, and it even though like
you're invested.
You're literally invested, but I mentally can invest too because like I don't know, like I've done races before where I didn't sign up till the week of. Or like a couple weeks before. And I just like, I wasn't pushing the training as hard because I was like kind of in, out. No, it's called commitment, right? Like you got to go all in and like, so sign up early and then your life just starts to plan around it.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so, this is definitely not going to be your last when we do this one. No. So it sounds like. And what are like some like goals in the future? Are you looking ahead to like what's going to be the next race after that? And like, what are you thinking about next year?
Yeah. So I don't know if you follow Aravaipa, but
they have so many good runs. I did not know until we did that last Mogollon Monster. And Aravaipa is like amazing.
They do some weekly stuff too, which is cool, but we should jump in
on their night runs.
But they opened up some applications for their team. But they said on there like typically their applicants finish top 10 in the races that they do. We are
badasses, but we're mediocre at all these races so far because we just joined them and we're learning along the way. So we'll see if we can pump up, after some gait analysis and some stuff like that.
But I was thinking maybe in the future I would like to join a team like that. So I would like to push my pace, I think, and I don't know if I want to increase my distance past 50K. Talked to my buddy Brandon. He's done a 50 miler. I think he's done one other one further than that, and he's like, as far as injury, body breakdown, and just like that fun factor, he wouldn't do anything further than 50K again.
Interesting.
Now, I don't know if I have a desire to do 50 miles.
I see other people like on, I follow a bunch of like ultra marathon influencers.
Dude,
so
there's some
they do 100 milers all the time.
Yeah.
The Moab 240 is crazy, and these guys are
Yes.
doing another 100-miler like a month later. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
my coworker's brother just finished third in that, and that was his third 200 plus miler like in the last this year, and then he had obviously other races, and I was like, holy cow, dude, I can't imagine. But I don't know if I'm the days kind of person. Like that 7 hours that it took us for the Mogollon Monster, I'm like, I don't know.
there is one I want to do. There's it's called Spartathlon, and you run from like Athens to Sparta.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
In Greece, and you like cover all of Greece in like 36 hours. And so it's like 150, but it's not 240.
See,
You know, you can get your head around that. 36,
like
right?
that. Yeah,
right? And then it's like super epic, and you end at like Philippidi or King Leonidas's feet.
Yeah.
And then you get like, you know, do the whole thing of Greece.
I could be talked into it one time probably.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it. Yes. And so, but yeah, I mean, like I follow another firefighter. His name's Andrew Glaze, Andy Glaze. He runs like 100 miles a week every week for like 300 weeks straight.
Mm-hmm.
And I was telling you about that on the race, and some guy runs by and he's like, dude, that guy's awesome. I saw him on Moab. And like, yeah. And so,
yeah, I could see something like that. Not necessarily 100 miles a week, but this now has changed. I think I would like to be any day of the week. If we had to get up and run a marathon, I would like to kind of be in that conditioning.
Yeah,
so
no.
I would like to keep this level of conditioning up.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just so fun, and like I want to figure out like how to finish a race and then like keep that athletic ability going past it. Because like a lot of times I used to like finish an Ironman and I'd go like a few months of just not doing as much, and then I would feel like again I would be not doing as much with my life because I wouldn't be like dialed on my nutrition, and I wouldn't be, you know, doing that. I want to do this all the time so that my life's good all the time, right? Like I'm doing, you know, everything for me like that I need to do to fill myself up and like be the best version of myself.
Right.
And so like, yeah, like you can celebrate, don't get me wrong. We should celebrate our wins. I think that is part of the thing. But because if you just grind yourself into a dust and then you just get back to it the next day, it would not be as fun. But maybe the next week, like maybe, you know, 2 weeks later, because like, I don't know, it's much more fun life to live.
Yeah. This is the first time that I've done something where I feel like I actually appreciated the journey more than I did the final day, and kind of the day we got tested. That was awesome. It was awesome to do it together. Like we were talking, you know, at multiple points, either one of us could have pulled away, and it was like, but it was our first one. We want to do it together and want to get through that. Plus, I mean, man, that thing sucked.
Dude, it was hard in the middle of the race.
Yeah. But it was definitely like about who we became in that process, and that just something that gets you up in the morning, especially when the summer, when it's like you got to get up at 6 a.m. and go for a run because you're not going to be able to do it at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m.
Yeah.
You know?
And in this world full of lack of purpose with all this AI stuff and all the things that people are just like, what do I do with my life now?
Yeah.
And this gives you a sense of purpose. And that's what one of the best parts about it.
Yeah. And the community's cool. I mean, when we were out there, we ran with a couple different people, and it was like,
made friends along the way, and it's like nobody's ever racing each other out there. They're all just rooting for each other. They're all like, dude, I'll run behind you, you lead for a minute, and then you run behind me, and I'll lead for a minute, so that we can both finish better than we would.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really cool community, the runner community, and like the long endurance community in general. I do need to do a full Ironman one of these days too, but the swimming thing is I need to hire a coach there.
That's one that might be a life goal. Like before 100 miles, I think I would like to do an Ironman. But yeah, the swimming. I mean, we're talking like, if I didn't know how to run,
I definitely don't know
how to swim. Yeah,
for real. No, I thrash around in the water. I get out, I'm dizzy. Like,
yeah. And
they just had the Tempe Ironman, the last one actually, this past week, and I saw some guys doing it, and it's pretty cool. Just to see how much you don't understand it till you go try it, but you can't just wing one of those. You
No.
can't. It's not possible.
Yeah.
Like one guy came in actually, and I worked on him, and he had just wung it, but he didn't make it, and but he caught the bug, and it was awesome to see.
Yeah.
Because he's like, dude, like it was the last one. I wanted to try it out, and he went out there and he went for the swim, made it out of the swim, went for the bike. 70 miles on the bike, but it's a 112-mile bike ride, right? And so he thought that he got cut off on the bike time. So he thought, oh, I'm just going to finish the run. And then so he gets off the bike with 2 laps and he goes to the run and he's running. And then 5 miles in, he starts cramping up and he just like didn't hit the fueling right, didn't really train as hard as he could have for it. And the guys, the AIDS guys were, dude, you're not even in the race anymore. Like you need to get off the course. It's like, and it's one of those things that you can't wing. And it's just, I love that about fitness is that like, it shows what you put into it.
Yeah.
You know, it shows that back end. You can earn a lot of respect in the industry or in the community because of the amount of effort you put in on the back end. And I think that's really cool. And, you know, and shout out to firefighters because they're always the ones doing it out there. I swear, everyone I meet out there, every other person I meet is a firefighter.
Dude, there's a lot of people that definitely. It's a cool, I think, enticing job just with the fact that it is, you know, we do display it as a family, a second family.
You guys are all brothers, and you guys all hang out all the time, and you guys
everybody
do
wants
cool
to help
stuff
people,
together.
right? So it's definitely a cool way to do that. But yeah.
And then you got any like other firefighter guys that are doing this one as well?
The Spartan is all guys that I work with. I think we have 6 of us. The 50K, the McDowell Frenzy that we're doing, you and I are doing. My buddy Brandon Gavry is doing that one, and he's a monster. Probably one of the most humble guys you'll ever meet. I don't know if you've met him yet. So me, him, and Alec were cadets together back in the day, and then me, him, and Alec also fought wildfire together. But Brandon's been a smoke jumper for some time now.
Explain to me smoke jumper.
So it's wildfire. He's in the best place to do it. He's in Boise, Idaho. But yeah, he jumps out of airplanes into
fires.
Wildfires.
That's so sick.
Yeah. And they're elite. Their physical standards are insane. He's done it, I believe, for 9, maybe almost 10 years now. But yeah, that dude is one of those guys that, so he works, and then when he's not working, he is pushing himself to his absolute limits. So that's what we trained together when I was trying to get hired for where I work now. We'd hit the gym. We did 2 days together. He's always been a good influence, a good person that helped me push myself. I push him. And so he's having a baby at the end of the year, scheduled anyways. And so we are going to crank out that 50K.
Crank it out, dude.
Yeah. He's going to do it though. I mean, so he did a 50-mile, like out by where they do the Javelin 100. And I want to say he held like a 9:20 or 9:30 pace
the whole time. Badass.
So I imagine he's going to.
We'll see him. We'll see you later, buddy. Like, have fun.
Yeah.
But one day we're going to be up at his level and hope to see some of these crazy guys I see on Instagram out there on the 100-milers and all those things. But
yeah, that would have been cool, dude. That was the cool thing about that last race in Arizona, right? That last Ironman was you had a bunch of guys that are influencers that are
Nick
like
Bear.
Nick Bear. Nathan French. You had a couple of those other guys that are huge. I think it's so cool that they share what works for them, because it's like us, like we're saying. I mean, you can go get some analysis tests done and try to go figure it out, but a lot of this is trial and error for figuring out what
you
works
have
for your
to
body.
go learn through it.
Yeah,
a lot of times.
So it's cool to get those tips. And Nick Bear has great. I mean, all the stuff I've used for Mogollon was BPN stuff.
I used to make fun of Nick Bear so much. Like I used to clown on him because I thought he was corny, and I thought, but I really actually do think he's got really fantastic content, and he's really out there trying. And I realized that I was being a hater and that I just wanted to be like him. And that's like
It's
where
so
I
easy to
needed to
do.
like, check myself because I'm definitely not at his level yet. And
Yeah.
so but I do want to be at his level. So Nick, watch out. And then,
Yeah, he's got a cool, definitely. I mean, his rise to everything was it's crazy, right? I think that would be awesome dream for everybody. But I mean, when he talks about it, his journey, kind of like yours, like when you're talking about how much work you do outside of just this and all the pots you have your hands in, um, it takes a lot of work behind the scenes to be able to do this, right? This doesn't just happen in 10 minutes. We set up and
whatever. This is this is a podcast about you, not me.
it's always we.
It's a we, yes. And all right, dude. So before we get out of here, I know we've talked a lot about races and a lot about stuff like that, but like tell me about day to day on fire. Do you have any good stories that, have come up lately, things that you've done and seen?
Talking about my job.
Yeah, I want to talk about your job.
I think the only thing new, and I think that is wild, is that a lot less people are applying for the fire service, and I don't know where necessarily, but I do think we're talking about like AI. We're in a whole different generation than what we used to be in. When I tested and I got hired, 2,000 people would apply for 20 jobs, and now you get 800 applicants, and maybe 600 of those are like actually qualified people that you'd want, personality wise, even to be responding to your home. So
you definitely want this kind of guy coming to fight that fire, right? Like,
but like especially here in the valley, I fight fire? I don't know. So
little, yeah, that's not.
so
You're
little.
not actually fighting fire.
No,
That's not what I mean by that. But I mean like responding to like different things in the home.
Yeah.
You guys are problem solvers. You guys are getting jaws of life. You guys are doing all the cool stuff.
Yeah. And you want people that really care, right? So I think that it has been a struggle, obviously recruiting. So if you have ever thought about the fire service and and you got a good heart and you got a good work ethic and you want to help people, I think it's definitely a great avenue. The East Valley is great. We're blowing up. We're hiring like so much, so much turnover. But our department's definitely very young, definitely very energetic, and we got lots of good people. So I'm excited about that.
And it's like it's a good place to find that sense of purpose if you don't have any, because like, I mean, you guys feel fulfilled in your job, right?
One thing new, I think mental health being a bigger topic. We're diving into that. We have some guys who are starting some podcasts and
Men's Mental Health Month right now, right?
Yeah. So another shout out if you guys haven't checked out PPV podcast, but that's set up by someone pretty awesome. But they're starting a podcast, basically trying to promote mental health, especially among men. I think we don't talk about it very, very often, at least not enough. But whatever job you do, first responder is an easy one because you just don't know what you're walking into, right? But whatever job you do, I think it's important to do that work outside of what you do and make sure you keep your mind right.
You go through some intense stuff, and that takes a toll on the body, brain, mind, everything, right?
And that's what I think, like these races and really just surrounding yourself with good people. Like that's one thing I always feel energized. It's kind of like my recharge. Coming here, coming to Elevate, but hanging out with you, hanging out with Alec, hanging out with anybody who's got good energy, and we're all just here trying to be better people. So genuine people you can be yourself around. That's important. And that's definitely what you learn. I think getting into the job that I currently have, there's a lot of focus on trying to fit in and trying to be, what you think that you're supposed to be. And sometimes you can lose yourself a little bit. So, always remembering why you did something and keeping that to be true, because the purpose, why I got into what I want to do is to help people, and because I really believe in that family, that brotherhood. And so kind of when you talk about, dude, it gets so easy for us to kind of give each other a hard time, maybe make light of things because we see it a million times. So we want to, coping mechanisms or whatever that is. But like you said, you're like, I realized I was kind of a hater. It's like, dude, that happens all the time, right? Where, especially now when as men, giving each other hard times is pretty normal. But kind of rooting for each other, I think, is
Definitely rooting for each
definitely
other.
a good phase to be in.
Yeah, and finding good coping mechanisms like running races and not, always finding the bottle or finding like, drugs or anything, other outlets. Go to church too, but like, stuff like that could definitely be good for the mental health for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And you said you've been getting into your faith recently, and so
Yeah,
has that
recently,
been helpful?
Dude, super helpful. I think you and I went to that. We went to a church. I didn't necessarily love the church we went to because the
Yeah,
message was
actually,
interesting.
that was not our favorite church, guys.
But
we won't name any
Yeah.
names of the church because maybe people go there, and honestly, you can definitely find God in a lot of different places and from a lot of different people. But they did like tell us to take a prescription for our mental health.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is the physical health bucket, and to take care of your physical health, go get a prescription from your doctor and then come back. And we're like, well, like my whole job is to tell people not to take prescriptions, and he's over here like, that's not the solve for your mental health.
Yeah. But what they brought up, so they had that physical, they had mental, and then they had
like a spiritual bucket,
right?
yeah.
And I think that's something that, especially for me, I've neglected, just not intentionally. But that's the thing, right? Is it's kind of one of those things that doesn't hit you until it hits you, and then you're like, might not have any investment and now return in this kind of area. And so, that's been awesome to go through that, and we've been trying different churches, but I think that's what being out in nature has done for me, doing these trail races, these trail runs, but getting out, doing something difficult when you don't want to do it, kind of being disciplined for a purpose has really helped. And I think that's kind of the whole point, is living for a greater purpose, right?
Yeah, I love it, man. And I was talking about it with Jason on a recent podcast about it, like the birth of his son and all these things. And I see so many people going through it. Like, they start in a different place, and then they find themselves there at the end of this. And so I think that it's important to talk about. I didn't realize that the Price for Paradise was going to talk about that as much as it does now. But I think it's really cool. And thanks for sharing about it, because like a lot of people have a hard time speaking about that. And I think that that's very valuable for the listeners to hear, because it's this is what the podcast is all about, is like figuring out like the price for paradise, right? So like what it took for you to get there, like what it took for you to get here right now. And so yeah, thanks, Brad.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll catch you guys next week on the Price for Paradise. My name's Woody, and aloha.
Later, guys.
Nailed it.
Good.
See, yeah, and you totally opened up after the first 5 minutes. You thought you were gonna you were like, And I didn't realize the music was playing in the background for the whole time. And then I heard it, and then I was like, turned it down. I have like a speaker, like a Bluetooth speaker up there, and it was playing in the background just slightly, so slightly. And then I heard it, and I was like, went down to my phone. I think it was like 30 minutes in.